Yeah, look at them. Wow. They don't know put this place in the middle of nowhere, don't they? I suppose it was here originally, but... Oh wow, look at this boat.
Really big.
So this is it, I think. Oh no, it's there, sorry. Wow. These are the old trading boats then. Must be the old trading boats. This is Baan Hollanda as well.
Just one?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go then.
Oh.
Ayutthaya focused on expanding its economic empire by trading with other countries. During the Ming Dynasty, China only allowed countries that had a royal seal to trade with them directly. Ayutthaya was one of the few countries that had this privilege. Other countries that wanted to trade with China had to go through Ayutthaya and pay extra taxes. Ayutthaya also welcomed foreign trading communities, such as the Dutch and the Japanese, but they were restricted to the outskirts of the island. This is because they had their own private armies to protect their goods, which could pose a threat to Ayutthaya's security if they were inside the island.
Here we are at the site of Baan Hollanda. Over here was the very successful trading company that was based in Ayutthaya, the most successful company in the world actually, what we often call the Dutch East India Company, otherwise known as the VOC. These people were the very first shareholders in the world. You could get shares in the VOC and they traded around Southeast Asia into Europe. And this is the very site in Ayutthaya over here, which has been reconstructed, where VOC were located. So really incredible when you think about it. In nowadays it's in a museum, and you can come visit here. It's a largely overlooked part of Ayutthaya, but to me it's like, you know, this is what made Ayutthaya Ayutthaya, really. Not just the VOC, but I mean trading. You've got all the trading history over here, so you definitely want to come here when you come to Ayutthaya. So there's this one, and there's also a Japanese settlement up the road, which I'm gonna check out too. I don't think they'll let me film in the museum, but I'll give it a go. What would you like to buy, Archery? We have spices. We have spices for sale if you want any spices. Take back to Holland.
Baan Holland. We call Baan. Baan is house.
Ah.
So the name of this place is Baan Hollanda, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Baan is house.
Baan's house, which makes sense. Hollanda.
Yeah. Hollanda and Holland is the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Baan Hollanda.
Yeah.
Yeah, go upstairs.
Holland, Netherlands, Dutch.
Yeah.
All the same thing.
Yeah, so this is the secret upstairs, so you tell everyone later what inside, okay?
Okay.
VOC was the very first company you could buy stocks in. The VOC were given powers to start wars, make treaties, and make its own money to start new colonies. They were extremely successful. The VOC made more money annually than Apple, Google, and Facebook combined today. Their success caused other Europeans to copy their model, and they're mostly famous for being absolutely ruthless, with their only real aim is to make as much money as possible and no government control them. The British East India Company was a direct copy of the Dutch East India Company, otherwise known as the VOC. Now, the British East India Company definitely did a lot of questionable things and ultimately took over huge swathes of Asia. These companies were constantly at war with each other, and I don't mean arguing, I mean sinking each other's ships with cannons. The countries weren't at war with each other, but the companies were competing over consumer goods brought from Asia. The British East India Company did not have much success in Ayutthaya, unable to compete with the VOC, and there was even a short war between Siam and British East India Company. So ultimately they packed their bags and left. They didn't leave Asia, but they did leave Ayutthaya.
Now maybe it just looks like they just dumped them here, but these boats are actually very well preserved. Very well indeed. I don't think I can walk amongst them though. Well, have a look. It's very overgrown. Something else, isn't it? Really get a feel for the place here. Really get a feel for its history.
Now this is what some people consider a very dark part of history. And this isn't a political channel. I don't take sides. I just say what happened as neutral as possible. Later on there would be an Anglo-Dutch war, and it would be the VOC that wouldn't be able to compete with the British East India Company. But not during the Ayutthaya period. All of this is a very long story, and I want to get back to Ayutthaya now. What I'm saying is, have a look at these museums, and one day I'll do a video on it, because after all, the past is not for us to like, but to learn from.